Apple just did the thing we've been asking for years. The regular iPhone finally feels kind of pro, without the pro price. This is the iPhone 17, and for most people, this is the one. But why do I say that? Apple used to hold back basic quality of life features, things like high refresh displays, decent base storage, etc., unless you paid the Pro tax. This year, the things you touch all day are basically the same. The screen you look at, the selfies you take, the durability you feel, and the storage you actually need. The Pro is now truly for the people who want the extras, not for anyone who just wants a modern iPhone experience. So let's start with what I think most people are excited about, the display. The 6.3-inch panel is awesome because, again, it's the exact same 6.3-inch screen you get on the iPhone 17 Pro. It's 2622 by 1206 at 460 ppi and up to 3000 nits outdoors with ProMotion up to 120 Hertz with 1 Hertz always on. Now what this all means is you're getting buttery scrolling, smoother games, and a lock screen that stays useful at a glance. It also gets improved anti-reflection, so it handles sunlight better than before. If you've ever felt that 60 Hertz tax, it's gone. The base iPhone now gives you the same real-world display experience as the 17 Pro. But Apple didn't just stop at the screen. Wait until you see what they did to the front camera. Selfies and video calls got the biggest single feature upgrade in my opinion. The new 18 megapixel center stage front camera uses a square sensor to capture more view, auto reframe group selfies, rotate between portrait and landscape without rotating the phone, and even do this dual capture from the front and rear cameras for video all at once. So again, same display and same front camera as you'll find on the Pro. And that's just the start because the durability upgrade is also impressive. Ceramic Shield 2 on the front means 3 times better scratch resistance than before. The iPhone 17 keeps the IP68 water and dust resistance, the slim bezels, and those contoured edges that make it comfortable in the hand. You also still get hardware shortcuts like the action button, dedicated camera control, which are little things you might take for granted, but they make the phone feel premium every single day. The materials are still that classic front and back glass with the aluminum frame. So what about storage? Well, Apple actually doubled it without raising the price. This one matters for longevity. The base jumps to 256 gigs while keeping the same $799 starting price as last year when it only included 128 gigs. Now I say this matters for longevity because the big rumor is that we might not see an iPhone 18 next September in 2026 and instead we'll see it in the spring of 2027 to make room for Apple's foldable next year. Again, that's just the rumor, but to me, Apple making this phone so good lines up with a phone that needs to last about 18 months. Photos default to 24 megapixel, spatial photos and video are still here, apps are larger, and Apple Intelligence features will only grow. So 256 gigs starting means you can keep shooting and installing without babysitting your storage in a year or two. Now on the back, you get 2 48 megapixel sensors, the main lens with a clean 2x optical crop, and a new ultra wide with 4 times the resolution as last year. That means even on ultra wide shots, you can crop in and still keep way more detail. Macro mode is sharper too, and video shoots up to 4K 60 Dolby Vision. Now, there's no dedicated telephoto, that's a Pro thing, but for 99% of what you'd shoot, this setup finally feels complete. But of course, none of that matters if the phone can't keep up. So what about performance and battery? The A19 brings the speed and the new display engine that drives ProMotion and Apple Intelligence, and battery is all day. Apple quotes up to 30 hours of video playback, and more importantly, charging finally catches up. You get about 50% in about 20 minutes when doing wired charging, but you're also picking up that faster Qi 2.2 25 watt wireless charging here on the base model, which we're not seeing a lot of other companies putting in the entry-level phones. You also get Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 6 thanks to Apple's new N1 networking chip, which should also make AirDrop and mobile hotspot stop being so annoying sometimes. Okay, so the iPhone 17 is really good. So why should you buy a Pro? Well, here's where the Pro models still pull ahead. You get a true telephoto lens with 4x and 8x optical quality zoom, Pro video formats like ProRes and Log, 12 gigabytes of RAM instead of 8, and huge 1 and 2 terabyte storage options, a bigger battery, and a vapor chamber cooling system that keeps performance fast even during intense gaming or video editing. Again, All of those things, at least to me, sound like features that you would get on a Pro device and not features that you would artificially keep away from the entry level. If you shoot a lot of video, push your phone hard, or just want the absolute best hardware for content creation and multitasking, that's where the Pro makes sense. For most people though, the base iPhone 17 finally closes that gap. When the stuff you touch most, the screen, the front camera, the body of the device, when all that hits parity, the base iPhone stops feeling compromised. The iPhone 17 is the first standard model I can recommend without feeling like there's an asterisk that needs to be placed somewhere in the sentence. This is the default iPhone again, while the Air is for the minimalists, leaving the Pro to be the true workhorse. So if you've been holding out because the base iPhone always felt like the compromise model, this is the one that flips that script. The 17 finally delivers the Pro experience where it actually matters and leaves you with extra cash to buy a case or upgrade to more storage. If you don't need a crazy zoom or a pro video workflow, this right here is the iPhone to get. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andru and I will catch you in the next video.